Hello and welcome to Grindslime TV with me, your host Aaron. And today we're shipping off to Finland to have a look at their grindcore scene in the form of Tolerance and their 2020 album, Last Days of Capitalism. Really cool release. I've really enjoyed this. Have been now since it came out. This was one of the ones. This was thrown in, I believe, as like a little freebie. And I thought, oh, I've never heard of this band. Whacked it on and, ooh, I'll tell you, tasty stuff. So, you've got 18 tracks here, which is really cool. Some instrumentals in there, sort of dark wave synth kind of instrumentals thrown about. Well, 3 or 4 of them in total, I think, maybe 4 or 5. I don't know, something like that. But yeah, you've got your lyrics on the inside there. Pretty hard to read from there, but it's pretty simple when they're in front of you. Pretty nice and clear. Very political thing, you know. It's the usual sort of political job you get from bands, you know. I'm right, you're wrong, that sort of thing. You know, but it is what it is, you know. People want to do political stuff, go for it, you know. At least these guys seem like they've actually, you know, read a book, so they've got that going for them, at the very least. Got your red shell case. Oh yes, oh yes. Got 28 minutes worth of album here, which is always nice. We like it when we get a good half hour. Don't want it to be too silly, do you? Over the top. Bloody madness. Now, music-wise, very, very unique, I think. This was the first thing by Tolerance I've heard. It certainly won't be the last. I've seen a few 7-inches knocking about. Probably going to pick up at some point. Really, really low guitars, almost Mortician sounding in a way, especially with the drum machine. Or electric drums, I'm not entirely sure which. Well, it could be very, very triggered. Either way, they sound very electric, which makes me very happy. Vocals, all pitch shifted, very sort of gore grind style, even though there's no gore at all throughout this release. So that was really, really cool. Made it a bit different. But still got its nice little punky parts here and there. It's got some nice little mincecore sort of what would you call it? Sections here and there, particularly towards the end of the album. You get a few songs in a row that have that sort of mince beat going on, which is really cool. But yeah, it's kind of like, it's definitely noise. It's got that sort of noise grind thing about it for sure. But musically, it seems like it's leaning towards gore grind style, whilst not playing gore grind. It's very, very, very cool. I was very impressed by it. Now, it won't be for everyone because it's just from the sound of it, but if you collectively like bands like, you know, Mortician, Carnivorous Vagina, Hyperemesis, man, Unholy Grave, you know, throw all them together, I reckon you could dig this, you know. Oh, well, remember Enemy Soil? Yeah, their sort of early gear. Yeah, very reminiscent of that in places as well, for sure. So, if you're into your grindcore, and you've got a bit of an open mind, I reckon you could do a lot with this release. Really good fun. You know, there's not much else to say about it really. You know, it's just a very, very heavy, for the most part, very fast. It knows when to slow down. But all in all, if you want a good grindcore release to beat half an hour, and it's something that sounds a little bit different to everything else that's been thrown around, particularly with all the clones we've got that are sort of knocking about, this is a breath of fresh air, absolutely. And I was very pleased to start spinning this again because it's been a good year or so. It always has to be done. So, take care all, support the local scene, and I'll catch you on the flip side.